We are the biggest, we are the largest African spiritual platform. We are the mother of all spiritual platform. We are the biggest. We are the largest. We are now international. I welcome you to another great episode, my beautiful and my awesome subscribers and followers. I'm grateful. I appreciate your presence on this platform. You make us the biggest. My name is always Labraska, the Sun Goddess. You can call me the Spear of Destiny. I welcome you. And then my announcement kakrebi order for medical catcher. So platform when your platform obi abetu sika na wa draft questions ama yesi yembisa no. We are not playing any advert here. We are educational platform. Enti platform where 7 years. Oh, so I wouldn't what we do here. You know how it runs. Enti member platform ne so na member platform for from be advertiser wa ha. Nembe exercise gullibility biya wa ha no say obi level you low, obi level you high. We respect everybody. Obia no matter the level of that person, you respect it. Yeah, exhibit spiritual authority wa ha. So Sawoba platform no so learn with us. If you don't want to learn with us, you can exit. We understand your understanding. We know what you want. You know what you don't want. And yet, you fix a platform ne entire obia adwunimu. Enti embejina platform no so na embe kase platform way obia o host you how you saying. So ufu so no ye powerful no what level ne predicament no fa ne power no enfanye ni ye. I don't want to get on anybody's nest, so don't come and get on my nest. We are investing, we care about people. We are not making money here. So here we give questions that will get us the best out of our guests. They understand, they enjoy, they sit. So if you are here, I welcome you. We are strictly educational platform. We are not advertising anybody. That is one. Two, when you see people on this platform and you are going and you don't ask my permission, when you go and you are eating, don't call me. I'm tired. I'm tired. Police if now I have given up. If you are going and you don't invite me, you don't tell me, no share me, no ya nasane, ka me, ka chembe. I welcome you once again. You know how much I care about you people. This is the investment and everything is for you to practice spirituality all by yourself. Just groom yourself. You can do everything. Nobody is beyond God. Your God in you can do anything for you. We are just helping you to acquire knowledge, know the road, know how to maneuver to get through to yourself. Don't go and be a burden on anybody. Will be our problem. Nobody is beyond anything. I welcome you. I'm tired of complaints, but I'm not tired of you. So just open your eyes and learn and practice things gradually all by yourself and you will get there. I welcome you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Welcome. Let's welcome our guest, Mr. FB Mensah. No, he's one of us. So Papa, we welcome you.
Thank you.
Okay, so you say hello to them and pay homage to them as usual, and then let us know what's going to happen today.
Okay, my chair telephone my trust my country no more.
Yeah.
My chair telephone revelation telephone my chiamo, and you say sometimes your course a chance and yaba. But send identity no yenye oyepem. As when we are directed and what information is supposed to come out, then we opt to bring it out into Michiamunyana. That's what I can say. Now we will be big kakra come before we started this topic.
All right.
And since this is the biggest and the largest spiritual platform in Ghana and Africa, and even getting to the world, there's something happening to our planet.
Okay.
And say
volume kakra na planet abem na serious case.
Yeah, planet Earth no nyama AC. Na yanhwe ye a ye hu ni ye because where your planet is headed towards we are heading towards total extinction, total destruction. I think 2012 some of the intelligences came to me and I'm catching me say in 2012 they were supposed to intervene within our planet and then get rid of her because they felt we were primitive and we're not living according to the cosmic intelligence manner. So I tried to negotiate with them. They said, okay, there's going to give us some time. Now, human beings should change the way we behave. But looking at the way we are going, it appears that there's no second chance. Because I have tried, well, any people are not making on air, but in my own small corner, I've tried to negotiate, I've tried to, talk things out with them. But they say, look, you people are trying, but they are not changing towards love. And there are other beings that are trying to infiltrate and
capitalize on the situation.
Yeah, and then they want to actually invade our planet's space because they think that we're not living up to the expectation of the Creator. And unfortunately, the kind of spiritual practice, the kind of awakening, and the kind of conscious awareness that we need to galvanize in order for us to create an opposite energy against the negative, and yet we don't get the people coming in. So I want to use this your platform, tell our kind, people should stop do it for me, do it for me, do it for me, and then begin to develop their own spirituality so that they can harness this spiritual energy of love from the cosmic intelligence, from the spiritual hierarchies, and intervene and then protect us. Because this is the only home we have. We need to bequeath this planet to future generations. We can't sit down for certain few elite in society who have taken advantage of certain intelligences and knowledge which is cost to our planet. Because when we say, we'll come to our planet, but this is very important because a message they asked me I need to. So lately I've done a lecture on that one. When we say, the intelligences that be, we have two types of intelligences. We have the...
Who promises a noble country?
Yeah, well, two types of intelligences are a control. Yes, you have the positive and the negative. As sometimes I go make about the duality. Now, unfortunately, the negative intelligences, intelligence somebody back yeah assassin and fit into yeah assassin. Because for instance, when we say my class cousin, when we say teteno, now you use 18 port. 18 port. Kuku, I think I'm right.
Are you one kuku?
Now, we share that the construction of the Ayuanu Kuku now, it comes out of the 4 elements. Because the universe was manifested out of 4 elements. So we say, Ayuanu here, and here, asase, here, insu, here, eja, and here, inframa, to get this whole thing prepared. So to get Ayuanu, you formulate the Ayuanu out of the 4 elements. So because it comes out of the 4 elements, say here ni bioma, it naturally goes back to its source perfectly without any side effect. Gradually, they imported this foreign intelligence from their source, and then they replaced this Ayua with this plastics and all those things. See, and when this plastic is of no use to us now, it cannot go back to its source because where it is coming from and where it is, it doesn't fit perfectly. I'm just giving you a practical scenario. Until say the life we are living now and the adaptations are fast here now. It is leading us into destruction. And the worst of it all is the introduction of the artificial intelligence. Because man must live according to the natural order, not artificial order. Now, those intelligences or the elites of society, they are trying to shift us from the natural way, divinity, equity, and so that we live in an artificial way. So everything divinity, equity, they are creating the artificial or the synthetic aspect of it. To the extent that, very soon, the responsibilities of all your media men will not actually be needed in the next future, because their softwares are intelligence AI softwares are. If you want to make a video, you just go in there, tell the software what you want to do. It will create your content for you, create your image personality, create your animation, create it within a span of 5 to 10 minutes. What I know is, according to the intelligences, when they give positive intelligence to a planet, that civilization is is designed that it will help the people as at the time that intelligence was given in that dispensation. That is the reason why we go in for civilization and technology. More people are unable to work because of they can bring an intelligence. Due to that intelligence, we need more hands to work. Unfortunately, the kind of intelligence we are having right now is going to get people out of work. And when you get people out of work, then that human ability is being killed. We come about several. You tell people to realize themselves. The era now, it is only those who have knowledge of themselves and have realized who they are can survive that era. Sometimes when I see some of the things that's going to happen, I feel so sad. And when I'm talking about it, I tend to have a nervous voice because and it's going to be a serious war. And unfortunately, that misunderstanding, that conflict in our planet space, other terrestrial beings, and that is the danger of it. The only way the spiritual hierarchies and intelligences can assist us as human beings is for us to lift our love consciousness and to come to that level of self-realization. So I tell people who come to me and say, look, at this juncture, the only thing I can tell you is invest as much as time, energy, and money and resources into realizing who you are. Because in the days ahead of us, this is the only way. But unfortunately, the intelligences that be also are aware of this solution. So they are doing everything to keep people ignorant of their self, who they are, why they're on this earth, and everything. Everything they design is to make sure that you don't realize yourself. You don't even have the time to realize yourself. And this is where we are heading towards. So I'm taking this opportunity on this platform to encourage the audience, the wonderful audience of Revelation, to pay more attention to what you say, the people you bring on board, and then especially those who come in to teach you how to discover yourself, how to realize yourself, and how to harness the power within yourself. That is your true nature, and that is the only thing you have. Because in those days, what I have seen going to happen in those days, even your own children will no longer be your children. They're going to take the right of your children from you. All the so-called churches will be closed down. Religion will be shuttered. Actually, even spirituality will be shuttered. All your investments at the banks will be taken from you. When you buy a car, you don't have authority over the car because the one who manufactured the car sitting in Germany or America can decide at any given point in time to put up the car. And there are even some cars right now like that. When Interpol cars, with those sophisticated cars, when the person reports that the car has been stolen, wherever they've taken the car, the manufacturer can put up the car and you cannot put it on again. You cannot put it on ignition again. So this is the system they are trying to create. And they want to create the system based on a unipolar world system that one central government controlling everything happening on the planet Earth. But this contradicts the principle of natural order. Mm-hmm. So please, let us try as much as possible to invest much time. We are doing what we can do, but they are telling us that our energy is not enough because we need certain level of energy in order to draw their presence here.
Oh, it must be enough.
It's not enough.
Some of us have invested. It must be enough.
No, what we are trying to say is that the amount of love energy.
I know.
You see, it's one thing investing and it's one thing having the corresponding effect.
It will come. You will push more.
So that's why we are sending the message out there that we need people with love. Look at now the world inside we live. It's all about self-centeredness. Nobody have compassion, kindness, love is missing. Everything is about self-aggrandizement. To the detriment of society, to the detriment of community, to the detriment of the planet and the universe. Look at our national leaders. When they come, instead of doing something for the collective good of the citizens, they try to exploit rather for themselves. Leaving the citizens, then the citizens begin to add more pain, agony, and anguish. Now, these negative emotional feelings like pain, agony, jealousy, lasciviousness, covetous that the Bible talks about, what it does is that it feeds energy, because everything in this planet is energy. It feeds energy to certain entities somewhere. And the manifested entities of the negative polarity, they feed on blood. So they have to stage wars and everything at certain places intermittently.
Be a fighter for now.
Yes. But the other polarity, which is the positive polarity, that is the natural one, which is supposed to protect us, feeds on love, compassion, kindness, forgiveness. And so when you read the book of Galatians, talk about the works of the flesh and the gifts of the spirit, which are opposing energies. But unfortunately, we have less people in that state of consciousness, that the state of unconditional love. Hence, it's kind of making it difficult for these energies to come in and then to intervene. So they only are able to contact the very few that are on that line. But it's not enough, because the opposing for which is coming, they are coming with everything they have.
I said they also need this place to occupy until you don't expect somebody back into AB.
Yes. So the point is that, I'm only trying to plead through a platform to...
So try working on him or herself.
Himself, to discover himself. Because once you discover yourself, you're going to discover love, because you're created in the image of unconditional love. Now, I also want to tell people that we must also look for spirituality that connects you to the light and sound energy, because that is the epitome of all the spiritual practices that will connect you directly to the spiritual intelligences that's supposed to back us in this coming era. So because we are created in the image of light and in the image of sound and the intelligence of light, or the attribute of love, light. So when what Bible says that let us create man in our image and likeness, that image they are talking about, it's sound, and that likeness is light. And that likeness, intelligence, the light is intelligence, and the sound is love. So on the day of Pentecost, when the Holy Spirit will come, they said, oh, the sound of a rushing wind, and there's a light on their head like the flame of fire. So man, our true attributes, what actually form the composition of our soul is light and sound. And that is the truth. So when you realize yourself, when you go inside, you get a connection, and you come to self-realization, that you don't see anything. The only thing you see is your light of yourself, and then you see you hear the sound resonating from the left, from the right. Normally we ignore the left because of the opposing agent, from the right or from your crown. That is the only thing you realize. And from there you realize that you have a more expanded intuition. Once that expanded intuition is opened, you have a direct connection with the hierarchies. Then they begin to direct you, do this, don't do that. No, this is what is coming. You do have to do this, don't do this, do that. Then they give you what I call real-time directions. As you walk, as you are on the go, they direct you. What is happening real time? No, stop talking. Okay, it's okay. Direct, go. Move your car. Don't move your car. Today, go by public transport. No, go with this person's car. They give you real-time direction. So, and this is the only way we can stand in that time, because all knowledge will be taken away from us, including even the Bible. That's what the Bible said.
Why any different? Anyways, so thank you for the advice. The word to a wise is enough. I think so. On this same platform a year ago, me any Dr. Parkwesi, yet na platform we are also the same as some we are in China. I think 6 months or something ago. Are you was me, Mrs. Sani na ba studio be recorded spiritual wa obekai me de sare me de chewing stick me de ketena ye that's why I didn't wura ye no ni nyina me de bi ba studio ha ene mo be kasa ye no so fo bi fa kotena we so say me ma ba da ne brunsam so mu adwini swa e wo fom enso ye fu say ye de yenim na fotuo no de ama obi antumi enforce obi a de ebe kan de ebe kan me say platform we wa abrochira we betua millions of because UK obroni people say how much does your president pay you know I'm say hey money president matna ha ye adwuma company bi an sponsor matare da do UK a whole company sponsored my boot my dress and everything into this the level I operate. And I'm catching time with Maame Grace. Polarity, you okay? Just this Sunday, yeah, me know what discussing we na. Meaning what else you want to hear? We try to heaven. Tie we na de fatna ha. Heaven ni do a wako. Asema kakra obeka no waka. Me di bia so opa afa. Wan fan so aye nyina yetim eye a eye nyina yetim. SP Mensah ma wako aba why? Ma wako aba kese pa. We appreciate you and your knowledge. We are grateful. But talk to your people. Obi no ka the higher powers. Talk to your higher powers. I'm also talking to my own. That at least so since there are people who are like a signet ring, mebua. So they should have things to do. Me, I believe things will happen. I believe people will get through to us and everything will be better. So me, I have so much hope. Say Bibi,
yes, okay. The point is that what I know is that if I am talking about averting the situation.
Now I understand.
To avert the situation, this is what we need to do in order to create a lot of love consciousness within the earth space. But if we don't avert the situation, unfortunately, it's going to happen. But the point is that life will still triumph.
Yes.
Not that there will be total extinction. Life will still triumph. But then why would you have to sit down
for things to go?
Let's say there's a war in a country, with many things are destroyed, and there are very few people who are left as now supposed to come and then rebuild the whole nation again. This is what we are trying to say. So we are trying to avert that situation. So we need more recruits. In that word, recruit
we need more audience. That's it. Okay, so Busia topic now about discussing the secret behind successful businesses and why most businesses fail. But me person me bisa no question back could be before we get into this topic because of what he's saying and now what we are discussing. Medical Kato said you all can take it. Just gain your consciousness. When you know yourself, you see yourself in somebody. And you find it difficult to hurt anyone. Mama yenyi na yenyi gullibility ni fiye mu. So we are able to save our own situation and condition, not for anybody. So at this point, since you talk to these superior beings or these entities, what is your take, or what have you seen, or what have you heard from them about this homosexualism thing that is going on in this our country, Ghana?
Okay, you see, the homosexuality has two faces to it. From what I know, one has to be miseducation, okay, and one has to be the disorientation of the natural order. And there is beings that are responsible for that. That is the intent. Let's say, for instance, they dwell on certain knowledge that you feel like a man trapped in a woman's body. Sometimes, so those are some of the.
I understand that part.
Yeah.
We've heard these things several times, and we still can't say because this is what you feel like malaria or malaria.
Yes.
We still look for solution, but that's not what I want to hear. I don't want to hear about your mind. I want to know whether these beings that you talk to have said anything about it. I'm asking you this because I know one entity that claims they are also trying to create their own world. So them creating their own world, as for the consequences or the outcome that will come out of it, some of the things, like you said, we can't discuss it here, but I want to hear if your own entities or the beings that talk to you has said anything about this thing coming to this our country.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that what they are trying to say is that, say, those beings that are claiming to create their own world, you see, you have two types of energies in this world, the positive and the negative. The loving energy and then the hateful energy. Those beings that are trying to create this, they are trying to disrupt the law of nature that the intelligent beings have created, because everything that comes from the source, the real source, people talk about the source, but when they talk about the source, they end at the creator. But the creator is beyond the source. You see, because the source is beyond the creator. But the creator is within duality, and the duality is the polarity, as you talk about the male and the female, so that life reproduction will go on. So what I know that I have been told is that concept going on, or that energy which is flowing through our current, is the cause energy which is trying to halt the concept of reprocreation, which is not in line with divine love, because that principle contradicts the principle of divine love. And those energies are lesser beings that operates within the fourth dimension, and they have one agenda, and that is to also prove that they also have power, and they are behind a lot of, and that being those entities in the fourth dimension, a lot of them are what the pastors use, because they have a lot of miraculous abilities, and they some of them even, let me tell you something, inside, okay, they took me to a being. Now the being has both sexes. So if he wants to engage in a relationship with you, what he does is that if you're a man, he will change his sex to be a woman. So you would think that you're having an affair with a woman, but actually he's a man. Then, so that that concept of reprocreation will not manifest. And so then I asked the entity, but why is he doing that? And he said, no, I should ask the being. And he said that this is his way of trying to fight against the law of nature, the law of the creator. So that is what is happening, and whatever is happening within our physical consciousness is happening outside there, because everything that is happening within manifest creation first takes place in the non-manifest creation. That's why we read the Bible say, out of the invisible cometh the visible.
They even say that what the spirit conceives give birth to the
physical.
And
what is above, so
below.
As above, so below.
Yeah.
So that is what. So the battle we are going on is a battle which is much more, and sometimes it's very difficult to have the adequate words to explain the things you perceive inside. I was telling some group of people, I think yesterday we had a lecture, and I was telling them, like, what I'm coming to tell them, they should try and connect to my frequency. So maybe the entities may explain directly to them, because the limited language of man is so much limited that it's unable to express the limitless nature of what you experience inside. So sometimes when you try to explain it, you know that what you are explaining is not adequate to what you have, that has been transmitted to your soul. So that is the whole. So as above, so below. Whatever is transpiring up, the same thing is transpiring down here. And if the down needs to come, the up needs to come down, it needs a conduit. Likewise, so if the positive needs to come down, manifest down, it needs a conduit. And when the negative also needs to come down, it needs a conduit. That's the whole thing. Now the point that, and then it comes back to the point of the request I am making, that the availability of conduits.
I understand this. You are just explaining the things these things attract.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Ghana as a country. And I don't want to hear about, I'm not asking about what you know or what you have deduced from all these things. I want to know whether your superpower or your entities or...
I don't have a superpower.
No, everybody that has, yes, everybody
yeah.
that has an intelligence that talks to him talks beyond normal understanding. So we call it sometimes super something or bigger powers or whatever. Yeah. So I want to know whether they've had any conversations with you about this thing and Ghana,
relation
not the
to
world.
Ghana, no, but you know what? Most of the information that I receive is about what is happening globally.
Okay, me, I care about my people, so I want to know about Ghana.
You see, most of the time, this is what happens. You see, territorial discrimination or territorial segregations, it's an intellectual thing because it was created. When you transcend, if you really transcend the consciousness and go up, it's even difficult to locate this is Ghana. You understand? Because all these things were, and even when you go to certain limits, you see, when the thing is transmitted, most of the messages that come are universal message, because in the beginning, the earth was null and void. So it was a large vacuum. And some of these things are man-created. So maybe the differences has to deal with the level of frequency we are dealing with. So you see, when it's lower frequency, then you may have direct information. For instance, when we talk about what we now call Ghana, the jurisdiction called Ghana, some time ago it used to be called Gold Coast. Now we call it Ghana. I don't know what it will be called the next 10 years because these are human creation. So maybe the entities that control that jurisdiction, if you are dealing with that entity that controls that jurisdiction, it may transmit specific knowledge regarding that jurisdiction. But the point is that when you are dealing with the universal energy, because the spiritual intelligences that they don't discriminate. Because I was telling somebody that when you say God punish, and then I can cause my spirit to punish, well, I try to figure out what kind of God you are talking about and what kind of spirit you are talking about. Because the real essence, the divine universal essence, the all-encompassing, that's not punish, because it does not even say, when you transcend consciousness, you see beings. That is what I know. I'm talking about my experience. When you transcend consciousness, you don't see the black man, you don't see the white man.
I don't want us to drag this issue.
Yeah.
I don't want us to drag this issue because when you started talking about how you feel people should gain more of their consciousness or themselves to save this dimension, you said there are some entities who want this place and they are creating things.
Not Ghana, the whole of,
who want this dimension, let me put it that way, who are trying to create mess or what have you, chaos, just to have their way. It simply means spirituality or these beings that we are here, we have boundaries and we have what have you. If not, why wouldn't they stay there? They want here. They know this place is different from that place, but we won't talk about that today, else it will eat into the topic, because I think we've almost taken 20 minutes or something out of this. And this is a business topic, which is very, very important to me, because you might be able to gain your consciousness, but when your heart is sick and your head is not sound, you can also attract this darker or lower